Room is here. I think you can make
Check with Colleen, because I know that originally he said no.
Oh. Okay. I'll check.
Grab something to eat and sit right over here. Yeah, I know.
So we got that.
Unless
Yeah.
they know about it.
Well,
Well, Art said he couldn't find the guys. It is what it is. We
Don't
had an
worry.
hour notice.
don't worry about it.
Okay.
We'll flex. No big deal. Yeah, we'll just go with it. You went to Georgia?
Okay. I don't know. I went to drills and so I
You
went
didn't call him?
no.
Yeah, here it is.
So
We tried.
We'll get it.
we're getting ready to get started. You got a few.
Yeah. Sound systems.
I feel like it's been 8 years since I've seen all of you folks. It's been a while. So welcome to today's meeting. Johnny Ortiz is going to lead us in our education.
You'll bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this new year, this new week, this new month, this new everything, Jesus. Thank you for this opportunity to come together with like-minded fellow believers, knowing that we're going to be able to make a difference in the lives of the people that we touch and we serve, Lord. We ask you to be with us the remainder of this week. We ask you to touch the blood drive. We ask you to multiply the cans of soup that are going to be coming in for the Super Bowl pantry for Pat. Lord, we ask you to be with us and just guide us and direct us. Lord, if anything, we need you now more than ever. And your word emphatically declares that if we turn to you, we seek your face, and we turn from our ways, that you're going to be able to answer those prayers, and you're going to take care of us no matter what. In your mighty name we pray, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. We're going to turn the mic over to Beth Blaisdell for the introduction of guests.
Hello, everyone. It's so glad to see all your faces. Like Diane said, it's been forever since we've been together, so it's great to have our Rotary family back. We do have a few guests. The first guest that we will recognize is also our speaker. He is District Governor-elect Mike Brew. have another visiting Rotarian with us, Barbara Turner from the Cedar Creek Lake Club. She also served as assistant governor for our district from 2017 through 2020. Welcome, Barbara. And Nicole brought a guest with her. Janice Terry is with us today. Mike, that's okay. Mike Dennis is with us. He's from Cable's Roofing. And then we also have Daniel Siddiq with us today. He's with the East Texas Council of Government.
Next to Randy.
Oh, how did you sneak in? Yeah. Randy Marshall brought his wife Robin as well. Oh,
Kelly's mother.
well, I asked if I should introduce Kelly's mother, and Kelly said no, because she just needs to get online and get her application in.
Well, I agree.
Well, we are glad to have you. Thanks for coming.
It's nice to see some familiar faces we haven't seen in a while. Alan, good to see you. Beth, will you give that to Bill Coates for our spokeswoman?
Finish my burger. How's everybody doing? It's good to be back. For those of you who follow the NFL, the Super Bowl matchup is set. The game is 13 days away in Tampa. And the 5 years the NFL's been playing this game, nobody's ever played the game on their home field. But as weird as this year's been, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get to host the Super Bowl in the stadium where they play. So they'll play the Kansas City Chiefs in 13 days, a week from this coming Sunday. And it's an interesting quarterback matchup. Much has been made of it, much will be made of the fact that a 43-year-old Tom Brady, who's played now 10 Super Bowls, who won his first Super Bowl while Patrick Mahomes was in kindergarten. He is playing with guys, rookies on his team, who were maybe a year or two old when he won his first Super Bowl. So Brady's been around a long time, so it's what they call now the GOAT is the term they use, Brady's of all time, the old GOAT, the young GOAT. Yeah. How was Pat? Howard, you know him well, turned 25, he just turned 25. Great young man, I've interviewed him on a number of occasions, really, really good guy, very easy to root for. So, and a couple of local things, I just picked Howard's brain, that didn't take long, right, Howard? Right, real quick. They actually have a noon game on Wednesday and a 2:30 game. Normally the Patriots play basketball on Thursdays and Saturdays, but again, games are getting moved around like a day in advance these days. So they have a noon, if you don't play hooky for a couple hours on Wednesday afternoon, the Heritage Patriots Center, they play at noon and 2:30. And yes, sir. Super Bowl tickets.
They started 18,000.
Give me four. Give me four. Okay, give me four to 18,000. I thought $2,000 was more than I'd ever paid. But anyway, it's been an interesting year covering sports, to say the least. All right, next slide.
Can you give it to Johnny, please? Johnny, do you want to come on up? While he's on his way up, he's going to do our member spotlight. But I thought I'd spotlight a couple of our friends in their life. First of all, wish Beth Blaisdell a belated happy birthday. Her birthday was over the weekend. Happy birthday. If you received a bulletin, one of the things that it includes in there is a list of people with their years of service. Brad Hall has 16 years of Rotary service. Stephen Orlander has 37 years of Rotary service. Doug Johnson, 33 years. Art Nolan, 6 years. And two of our members who joined just a year ago, they're celebrating their first year, they're both here, Henry Hall and Nicole Grant.
Yay!
The person who's not here who has the most years of service in the month of January is David Lake. He celebrates 53 years.
Wow.
So, Rotary Spotlight.
Perfect. Today we're going to do the
Rotary Spotlight. It's going to be a little different. We've got a couple of different options for you, right? Everybody likes options. The first option, we're going to ask to have your fellow member voluntold you. So if there is somebody that you've been interested in hearing about that you haven't had a chance to hear or get to know them a little bit better, right now is your opportunity to voluntold them to come on up. On the count of 5, 4. Y'all want to see the second option, right?
Yeah.
What's behind door number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. If you've been a Rotarian of South Tyler Rotary for longer than 5 years, raise your hand.
Well, I just listed a bunch of them off.
All right, if you've been here longer than 10 years, raise your hand. If you've been here longer than 15, raise your hand. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Our obvious choices right here. So today, Mr. John Harvey, we're going to get to hear from you, sir.
Oh, goodness.
I want to put my hand down if I didn't know who was going to do that. Actually, I cheated a little bit. I have been a Rotarian for 40 years, off and on. I joined in 1980, and I've taken 2 sabbaticals 4 years at a time, but I've always come back to this club. And hopefully I'll be here for many years. What do you want?
Tell us about your family. Let the Rotarians and everyone and the millions watching around the world about your family.
I got a wonderful wife, 45 years coming up this year in May. Got 2 children, a son and a daughter, 35 and 40, and a wonderful granddaughter named Gracie, who's 6 years old.
6 years old. What do you have to do for fun in the Tyler East Secretary for me to go further?
What we really enjoy doing is playing pickleball. Who's heard of pickleball in here? Okay, check it out. It's a lot more fun than tennis and a lot easier on your body. We have pickleball games at Glass Recreation in North Tyler and in Faulkner Park in South Tyler, and you can play almost any day of the week. We're going to have a match together.
Nice. Also, one of the things that I love about Rotary is that we get to work again along with one another, so we're able to network with. Matter of fact, I was talking to Randy about it this morning. We're able to network with different Rotarians, and so if anybody was curious about what you do occupation-wise, could you share a little bit about that?
Well, I've had a long history. Started out as a practicing CPA for about 16 years. In the mid-'80s, all the banks started failing, and the savings and loans started failing, and I had a lot of clients that couldn't get their loans refinanced. So I started doing small business administration loans, and I've been doing that for over 30 years now.
So if somebody needs a loan, business, they can come see you.
Right.
The last thing I like to talk about with it.
In January, we formed a new company along with Stephen Borlander and David Jones, both Rotarians, and 4 other guys. And we do small business loan consulting, grant writing, and professional fundraising.
That's what I love about the network, that you know their core values, you know their beliefs, and you know you're doing business with some good people, right? The last thing I want to talk about is motivation. What gets you going? And again, to steal from Brother Coates back there, what floats your spirits, John?
All I can say is the thing that really gets me going is doing what I perceive to be God's work. Helping people accomplish things. I call myself the entrepreneur's cheerleader. And so I am a big supporter of entrepreneurship. And anytime I can help somebody get started or expand their business, I'm ecstatic.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, John. I'll leave you guys with this quote. I heard today, it said that happiness is a byproduct of pursuing your purpose. And I think that is a perfect to describe it, John. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
I really enjoy our Rotary Spotlight, so thank you, Johnny, for taking care of that. And talking about networking, the other day I was going through McDonald's drive-thru and I get up to the window and the cashier says, "Oh, the person in front of you paid for it." It's like, "Oh, great." He goes, "He said to tell you Rotary." Thank you, Clint Henderson. So that was kind of neat. I'm going to call a couple people up. Dalton, you want to come on up and talk about the blood drive of the Super Bowl? Beth, you want to come on up to talk about the spaghetti supper update? There she is. While they're on their way up, just a reminder that it's time to pay your dues. If you've not already done so, you can pay Michael in the back, or you can email Tom Seal. He can send you a link to pay it online. It's real simple. It doesn't take about 5 minutes to do. It's great. And I'm going to turn it over to Dalton real quick.
All right, so you guys might have seen the Carter Blood Care van outside when you walked in. We are doing our blood drive today, and blood levels are super low. You hear it a lot, blood levels super low, please donate. But a lot of the schools haven't let Carter Blood Care come in, so they're legitimately very, very low right now. So any amount of blood that you can donate is extremely, extremely helpful. So if you can donate today after lunch, go ahead and head out there and go ahead and donate. We've also got a canned food drive going for Pat, Super Bowl drive. So bring canned foods. That's going to go through until the end of February. So well after the Super Bowl, we're all celebrating the Chiefs win. We'll still be bringing cans in. So go ahead and bring those cans in. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Dalton. And when you do bring cans in, there is a sign-up sheet. We're trying to track how many people participate and how many cans we donate. So if you would sign on that, if somebody had dropped off a bag with 4 cans this morning, if you take claim to it, please put your name on it back there, and we'll continue to do this until the end of February. If you'd rather make a cash donation, we'll do a pass and hat, or you can do an online donation directly to PAC, and the information was in the bulletin. I'm going to turn it over to Beth.
And this will be quick because I'm about to head out of the parking lot and go give blood. I'm an O-negative universal donor, so that's where I'm headed next. Anyone in this room can take my blood. So. I am so excited because, as you know, with COVID, with the restrictions we've had, this past April we didn't get to have our traditional spaghetti supper. And we did still raise a good amount of money, but not near as much as we want to make a difference in this community. So our board met on Thursday, and we made a decision that we will be making spaghetti this year. We will not be having a traditional spaghetti supper because it's just, we're not to that point where we can do it. We're also going to push this back to May, for about a month later, so about May 20th is what we're aiming for. We're going to partner with some other agencies in Tyler whose mission is to feed those who are hungry. So we're going to work with Meals on Wheels, Salvation Army, Highway Mission, PATH, maybe some players to be named later. We are still going to need sponsors. We are going to need people to help make the Rotarians to help package it, and then we're also going to be running a little bit of a delivery service. So the agencies that we partner with, hopefully they will be able to do delivery of the meals that they get. But if we also have an employer who wants to be a major sponsor and we need to do some delivery, we're going to step up and do that. And we want to make this the best spaghetti year ever. So I've started getting some organization around that and kind of handpicking some people for our executive board, but we, of course, expect everyone to get to participate. We're just really excited to come to some level of normalcy and not drop the ball and still be able to serve our community. So I look forward to getting this organized and working with all of you. And if you have any questions or you just want to, volunteer already, then let me know. So,
thanks, Beth. And before I turn to the speaker of the program, one last thing to share with you guys. It was in your bulletin, but on Friday, February 5th, there is a foundation virtual dinner. It means that you get to eat what you want. You don't have to get dressed up. Well, maybe from the, you don't have to drive anywhere. You can just spend time in your comfy chair. Foundation dinner. What the foundation dinner does every year is recognize those who contribute to the Rotary Foundation. That includes people who have earned their first Paul Harris Fellows or anyone who has increased +1 during the calendar year of 2020. So I sent out a personal invitation to those folks who are in that range. So I hope you can attend. There is a $10 cost. I hope that doesn't deter any of you from coming. I believe that there's a commemorative mug that's going to be sent to everybody who registers by a certain date. So the information is on our website, on the bulletin that you received, or you can visit our District 5830 website. Any questions before I turn the program? Are you introducing? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Lee Montgomery to introduce our guest speaker.
Thanks, Diane. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure speaker, and I'd like to put in a plug for our other guest from Cedar Creek Lake, Barbara Turner. I was invited to attend a Rotary meeting a long time ago by another person, and I became a member, and I sat in a chair, enjoying fellowship programs, some service work for a couple of 3 years. But as Barbara was entering her year as president, she said, "Would you be the treasurer?" And 6 months after that, would I go to PETS? And so I was thrown into PETS, sort of at the last minute. Nobody's ever had that experience.
Nobody, ever.
But going from a comfortable chair to a sweeping immersion in Rotary in 6 or 7 months was quite an experience. And I thank Barbara Turner for making me a Rotarian. I became a Rotarian, but I became a member at first, but she made me a Rotarian. It's my pleasure today to introduce Mike Mann. I've known Mike for almost 18 years now. When I went to my first Rotary meeting at Cedar Creek Lake, Mike was in the crowd. I visited a couple of times, and we were going back for the third or fourth visit, and we pulled up to the Cedar Creek Lake Country Club, and it was in ashes, and it had burned to the ground the night before. It happened Thursday night. We went there for a noon meeting on Friday, and I took that as a sign that Mike and the others didn't really want me in there. But things progressed, and I'd like to tell you that Mike is a long-term member of Rotary. Let me get out a few little notes here. Mike was born in Austin, raised in Houston. He's both a practicing CPA. So John, you have something in common. He's been an attorney for 32 years. He currently resides in Maybank with his wife, Andrea. They've been married over 33 years. They have a son and a daughter, and 2 grandsons, all whom they cherish deeply. Mike has served as president of the Rotary Club of Cedar Creek Lake twice, and in his second term, the Rotary Club of Cedar Creek Lake was awarded the Bill Campbell Award as the most outstanding club in the district, one which we followed a couple of years ago by earning the same award. Mike joined Rotary International in 1988, and he became a member of the Cedar Creek Lake Rotary in 1977, and he's served in virtually every role since. He's an RI Foundation major donor, a member of the Paul Harris Society, donating at least $1,000 a year to the foundation, and a Rotary Foundation benefactor. He believes in community service and has served as director of the North Houston Greens Point Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club of Cedar Creek Lake, Cedar Creek Nonprofit Housing, Henderson County Help Center, Henderson County Library, and is a trustee of the Presbyterian Hospital in Coughlin. He also serves as an officer and committee member for a number of community organizations. His fun stuff includes traveling, saltwater fishing and hunting, the Texas Hill Country, ranching, and rooting for Texas Longhorns. Please welcome Mike Brenner.
Have they told you you have to eat the microphone?
Yes, they told me I have to eat the microphone.
Okay, just
Thank you. And thank you, Lee, for those very, very kind words. Lee invited me to do this about a month ago, and I can tell you that I have been excited about it ever since that invitation took place. And my word, it is such a pleasure to attend a live Rotary meeting again. We will get through this at some point. Anyway, when Lee asked me to come and speak, I thought about this for many hours. And I thought, well, international service is a very, very broad topic. And so rather than try to inundate you with all the levels of Rotary international service that one can participate in as a member of Rotary, I thought I'd just share a few personal experiences of mine. In one of my first experiences, or mine and Andrea, my wife's first experiences with international service, was youth exchange. In 1999, a young Brazilian named Frederico da Silva Fragonard from Brasilia came to live with Andrea and I and our two children for an entire year. And Andrea and I were talking, and of course we talk about Fred quite a bit, as you can well imagine. And last week, we got to giggling about some of our episodes with Fred, and we decided that we'd write a little ditty about Fred, and I thought I'd share that with you this afternoon. Kind of listen to a story about a man named Fred, a brilliant young Brazilian who knew English, he said. Then one day he was looking for some rooms, and up from 5830, well, here come the grooms. Grooms, that is, Cedar Creek Lake grooms. Well, first thing you know, old Fred's a soccer star. His kinfolk said, "Son, move away from here." They said, "Brazilian's the place you ought to be." So he loaded up his trunk and he became a missionary. Baptist, that is, Texan to a T. So Fred lived with us for a year, as I said. And as many of you know, typically foreign exchange students live 1/2 of their year here in the U.S. with one family and then kids. Well, Fred ended up living with us for the entire year, which really worked out to be in everybody's best interest, because I can assure you, at our doorstep, he didn't understand a single word of English, nor did we understand a single word of Portuguese. But anyway, we finally learned to communicate, and he became a member of our family. Went to school every day, played soccer, and yes, he was a soccer star at Magnolia High School. There's about a few funny stories about that. I won't go into that detail with you today. But he did chores just like the rest of our kids. Went to school, became a big fan of sausage biscuits and Dr. Pepper. And you cannot get Dr. Peppers in Brazil. So anyway, we still maintain frequent contact with Fred, and he has been back to the United States a couple of times to visit us. I will come back to Fred later. In my mind, to do international service right, you have to have the heart for it, because it takes a commitment from you of your willingness to take on something that is very unfamiliar with you, and new people that you have virtually no connection with whatsoever. And typically it takes a little bit of expenditure of funds. But anything worth doing, as y'all well know, it takes a fair amount of work. And as you know, Rotary's tenet, one of our tenets of Rotary, is to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace for international service. My take on it, it's pretty doggone hard to like somebody or dislike somebody that you have known and befriended. In 2019, Andre and I, along with about 50 other Rotarians from zones 30 and 31, participated in the annual Heart to Heart pilgrimage in Mexico City. The purpose of that trip was to review completed projects and projects that were being, or that were in progress at the time. as well as to review potential projects that our Mexican partners in Heart to Heart wanted us to participate in. James Wolverine from the Old Time Club was with us on that trip as well. Ted Huffines and Angela were scheduled to go. Many of y'all know Ted, of course. But due to Angela's brother's illness, they had to cancel at the last moment. While we were there, we saw very good projects. And one of them that was really, really amazing was the dedication of a school bathroom facility. This was on the outskirts of Mexico City, and all of these children were present, as well as all of us Rotary members from zones 30 and 31, as well as a number of local Rotarians. The bathroom facility was constructed as a global grant through Heart to Heart. The sustainability portion of it is they teach children basic hygiene, if you can believe that. That these children didn't even understand basic hygiene. Anyway, the dedication was quite cute, as you can well imagine. The children gave speeches, they had a band, a light meal, a pretty simple fare was served to us. And while we were eating our meals, all of these little children came up to us requesting our autographs. I never thought that I was a celebrity, but I was for one day in Mexico City. I can assure you, as were the rest of our Heart to Heart pilgrims. It was quite the experience, I can assure you. Some of you are very familiar, I think, with Heart to Heart. But as I said, it's a cooperative project between zones 30 and 31. And it originally was our other partner was the Mexican district that includes Mexico City. It originated in 2004. We have done global grant projects there every year since as a part of Heart to Heart. And it was expanded later in time to include the Mexico district that encompasses Guadalajara, where Enrique Garcia is from. Guadalajara, where Enrique Garcia is from. I'll come back to Enrique. There's a number of you here that have met Enrique Garcia because he has visited our district at least on one occasion. Last Saturday, Heart to Heart hosted an online project fair for global grants that they want us to participate in the Heart to Heart program this upcoming Rotary year. And one of the projects that was presented was bathroom facilities and basic hygiene training for 8 elementary schools in a suburb of Mexico City. They're supposed to serve 6,500 students when completed. Ted Hoffines and I spoke after the meeting on Friday, and we were both very enamored with this project, as you can well imagine. And we are going to try to be the principal partner, District 5832, try to be the principal partner in that project. We're going to enlist other districts for financial assistance. And I checked my email before I left this morning, and actually a memorandum of understanding between our district and the Mexico district is being circulated. The funds, as you are aware, the district designated funds, quite a few of those funds came from this club by y'all's donations to the annual fund in 2018 and 2019. Y'all understand how that works, the 3-year turnaround, right? While we were in Mexico City, as I said earlier, we had a chance to visit quite a few completed global grant projects. We visited a pediatric clinic, did a full tour of the facilities. We purchased medical equipment for this particular clinic. We visited the John and Judy Germ Cleft Lip and Palate Clinic there in Mexico City. As Diane mentioned earlier, John is going to be our keynote speaker at our foundation celebration on February the 5th. I encourage you all to attend. He is an amazing individual. John was president of Rotary International, what year? I don't remember.
16, 17.
16, 17.
My president.
He was vice president. How about that? Let me go to the fact that we, during the Heart to Heart pilgrimage, all of us reviewed so many projects that our Mexican partners had proposed to us. And we would spend, this was not a all play in their work trip, I can assure you. We spent it was an 8-day trip. And we had 1 day off for sightseeing. The rest of the time, we were visiting projects and reviewing proposed projects. While we were in one of these meetings, fortunate of seeing Frank Evelyn again. Many of you will remember Frank. He was president of RI in 2000, 2001. The first time I served as Rotary Secret Flag president, Frank passed away this past year. It was a huge loss to us in the Rotary world. He was quite an amazing individual. Anyway, I'm sitting in this big conference room, and it had been many years since I'd seen Frank. And he wanders in, and he sits down next to me, and we strike up a conversation like we'd seen each other the previous week. I mean, he was an amazing individual. And he did so much for Rotary International as well as the Heart to Heart program. He had a special connection with 5830. I'm sure some of you are aware. The first Rotary Club he ever visited was in Sulphur Springs, Texas, with his brother Jesse many years ago. As a matter of fact, we had a district-wide event. I can't remember what it was, the district conference, whatever it was. Many years ago, and Frank actually presented my wife, Andrea, with her Paul Harris medallion. He was quite the guy. Another friendship made, more good deeds done. We also visited I don't know how to explain this, but there's this massive plaza in downtown Mexico City where they have this big, huge, I guess, social services fair each year to basically inform those that are less fortunate than the general public about what social services are available to those in need in not only Mexico City, but Mexico as a whole. While we were there, we visited a number of different social service projects. One of them was a wheelchair project. I'm sure y'all heard about the wheelchair projects, right? The Atlanta Area Club has participated for a number of years in wheelchair projects. What was neat about this particular exhibit was not only are these wheelchairs being provided to these recipients, but these incapacitated individuals receive training to be able to repair these wheelchairs so they can also have a livelihood. As I said, we visited the pediatric clinic, the John and Judy Germ Cleft Lip and Palate Clinic. And another project that I found out about recently is because of my connection to Enrique Garcia, Guadalajara, Enrique Garcia. He invited me to attend a virtual meeting of the Chico, California Rotary Club. They were receiving a presentation from Davis, California Rotary Club about the provision of reusable sanitary napkins for young women in Mexico, in a town close to where Enrique Garcia lived. It's something that I think many of us didn't think about in this country, but apparently it's third world countries, it's a huge problem. The absenteeism that results from young women having to be to miss school because of their monthly menstruation. So this project is basically what they're considering doing is local Rotarians in the U.S. sew these napkins and then ship them to this village in Guadalajara, and they also send representatives to this village to instruct them how to, periodically wander and all of that. I bring this project up because, again, it's one I've learned about through my participation in Rotary International Service, and it's a high impact, low cost, very worthwhile project. The number of potential projects out there really are only limited by our own imaginations. Do these projects have an impact? Well, I can promise you they do. One of the most amazing experiences we had while we were in Mexico City was attending the annual Holtz Beacon Kidney Transplant Summit. Let me back up here, if I could. Primarily through funding started by Rotary International. This clinic to handle kidney transplants was set up in Mexico City. The principal driver was Ignacio, also known as Nacho Holtz, because he was a kidney transplant recipient. He's a Rotarian there, as I'm sure you're aware. He received his kidney from his wife, Beatrice. Anyway, they held this annual summit each year. When we were there, they held in this large auditorium at the Archaeological Museum in Mexico City. The staff from the clinic attends, donors, donees attend, as well as many Rotarians. There were quite a few Rotarians there that were American Rotarians that were not part of our group. I don't know where they came from, but they were certainly there at the summit. And so the family members, the donors, the donees, and the family members are given an opportunity to speak to the entire audience about what this transplant or participating in this transplant process has meant to them. Many of the donees were young women, and quite a few of them, several of them, survived because of obviously receiving a donor kidney, and they had their children with them that they would not have otherwise had, because of course they had survived and would not have been able to bear children. It was a pretty amazing experience, to say the very least. Back to heart to heart. Rotary celebrates 100 years in Mexico on April 1st of this year. And the principle for heart to heart, sat around and discussed and thought about a way to commemorate 100 years of Rotary in Mexico. They came up with the 100 and 100 program. The 100 and 100 program, the gist of it is for 100 U.S. clubs to participate in the 100 service projects all across Mexico. It's not just districts 4170 and 4140 in Mexico, but across the entire country. We reviewed quite a few of these projects while we were in Mexico City. If you are interested in potentially participating in a 100 to 100 project, all you have to do is there's at Zone 3031's website, there's a heart-to-heart page, which includes a link to the 100 program. If you go there, I'll give you the address for whoever's interested. There's a spreadsheet there that you can look at to review all these potential projects that are still available. I have not heard that the hard deadline to pick up these projects is February, but it's kind of been intimated that that is in fact the case. That will be February of this year. One thing nice about the projects in Mexico is we don't have to worry about stewardship of our money, especially as a much more global brand. RI officials monitor those very closely. But these 100 and 100 projects, which are club to club, district to district grants, or the funding is handled by FIRMAX, the United Rotary Fund of Mexico. And guess who one of the founding members of that organization was? None other than Fred Bevan. So why should you consider 100 to 100 program? These are really easy projects to participate in. They run the gamut. I mean, it's pretty much anything you can think of when it comes to one of our avenues of community service. These are available. These projects not only engage participation by Rotarians, but also Rotaractors, Interactors, and non-Rotarians as well. Both Ted Huffine and myself were heart-to-heart advocates for our district. As I said earlier, if you'd like more information in connection with So back to Fred. As I said earlier, yes, Fred has come back and visited us a couple of times since he left about 20 years ago. He and his wife now minister to 3 different congregations in the poorest areas of Brazil. And on occasion, he comes back and he officiates at U.S. weddings. He came back and officiated at our daughter's wedding. She married her husband. And Fred, who has 2 young boys, has threatened Andre and I to send both of them when they're of age to last for a year. We shall see how it works. As I said, this has been an amazing journey for me. This journey through Rotary International Service. So many good friends made, and so many good deeds done. I truly look forward to it continuing and to new friends I will make through participation in Rotary International Service. Friends both here and far await you, and many, many good deeds remain to be done. Thank you for your very kind attention. I'll now take a question. Yes.
I didn't catch it. Where in Brazil does Fred live?
Brasilia.
I don't know.
That's the capital. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Diane.
How much does it cost to do the student exchange
As
the host?
Well, as a host, it really doesn't cost you anything other than transportation. Our district provides a small stipend for these incoming exchange students. It was $100 a month back when we've had Fred. I don't know what it is today. I haven't been involved in youth exchange for a number of years. Anybody else?
All right.
Well, thank you very much.
We haven't finalized it, but we are going to be doing one of the 100 and 100 projects.
That's great.
We, when we went through our grant, spaghetti supper grant from last year, we set aside $1,500 to go to one of those projects, so we just need to finalize it. And I guess we need to do it soon since February is the deadline.
Thank you, Diane.
Thanks. A couple things, Michael, are we doing the raffle? You want to bring that up? While he's on his way up, I did want to, one of our members had something very good happen to her recently. Sheila Austin, she's one of our new members, but she passed her CPA exam. So congratulations to Sheila on that. My understanding is that CPA means can't pass again. To Beth. Yay! 30 minutes.
So if you have 30 minutes to get out, you need to meet a great capacity and they give us luck.
And also, please keep our member Vaughn Johnson in your thoughts and prayers. He's had a rough time with COVID. He says he's probably not going to be around for a little while as he recovers. So please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Mike, would you go over and draw a card and draw a number for Michael Hurley?
All right, the last three numbers drawn are 5, 9, 9.
5, 9, 9. All right. Since Barbara goes over there and draws a card, I just wanted to wrap up with a couple of closing comments. You know, our Rotary year is now halfway over. I kind of prepared this speech at the beginning of January, so actually another month has come and gone since I had a chance to talk about it. And if you think back, I know a lot of you couldn't be there, but when you think back to my installation, I talked about Rotary Opens Opportunity, the theme for this year. And I mentioned that there was a couple of areas of opportunity that I felt she did not win. Dang it. A few areas of opportunity that I felt that our club could focus on. I talked about the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to change, and the opportunity to serve. So I wanted to just briefly recap these. Opportunity to change, I don't think we had much choice but to change. I think the circumstances around us have just created a lot of change, and I think we've proven ourselves to be very adaptive to those changes. And I appreciate your willingness to watch on YouTube or do Zoom board meetings or not be here as much as you'd like. And I appreciate people wearing masks when they feel like they need to. It's been a lot of change. Opportunity to serve. We've had a great year thus far, but I just want to talk about the two most recent things. Martin Luther King Day last Monday, we did a park cleanup. 21 Rotarian members and their families came out. If you could go stand up. Came out on a Monday afternoon. Some of them on their work break, and I was off for the day, so it was really easy for me, but some of them came out on their work break, so I really appreciate that. That was a great way to spend that day. Kind of got a later start than we'd hoped, and I was really worried we weren't going to get enough people to sign up, but I've been watching the appointments, and as of this morning, there was only 4 appointments not booked out of like 20 or something like that, so way to go, South Cairo Rotary. On the last note, I talked about opportunity to grow, and I mentioned that this was not just about adding members to our club, but it was also growing personally and strengthening our club. But I want to go back to the part about growing our club, the members in our club. We have a great organization. It's a wonderful, vibrant organization with a diverse group of people, young, old, women, men. I think we have a lot of younger folks than some of the other clubs do. But we need to grow our club. So we ask in our bulletin every week, who can you invite to Rotary? And it's not a numbers game. I don't care if we don't grow. I really don't know. It's not like I'm going to win a prize if we have more members than we do. But the more members we have, the more that we can do. At least like plugging his ears. Of course I want us to grow. Don't get me wrong, but it's more about what's good for our club. So think about who you can invite. We got a lot of guests with us today. Please come back, visit us again. We don't want you to just walk out today and go, yeah, I'm gonna join. It may not be right for you, but we hope it is. But if you want to join, there is a link on our website. All you have to do is click join here, and it's real simple to go through the process. Or talk to one of our board members, Johnny's membership rep, that can just walk out the door, talk to me. We can answer any of your questions that help us grow our club. Any other announcements from the floor before we adjourn? Tyler.
February the 2nd is Groundhog Day.
February 2nd is Groundhog Day. Thank you. Seeing no additional announcements from the floor, Brad Hall, would you please lead us in our four-way test?
Sure. Four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it true?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Same here.
Sure.